Hello, welcome back to my channel, Jamie Fran Colors. We are on a Hanna Karlzon marathon and I love it. And today I thought we could do some backgrounds that we will color later on our little journey. So those of you who are here all the time, I did have my root canal yesterday. Feel about the same as I did, except that that stress is gone and the root canal went a lot better than I remember my last one going like 12 years ago. So that was good. And I am practicing figuring out how to do acrylic nails. So that's why I only have one hand done at the moment, because it takes me a long time because I am just learning. So let me see here. Let's see what we want to do. So this one is the spirit animal, and we have done a lot in this book. So for me to pick one that we haven't done, there are a few, but not nearly as many as in other books. But I really thought this one would be kind of a cool one to do. So we could do this as one video and this as another, because they're not really as connected as other ones in this book. So we'll do the background for at least this one. And then I was looking in Magical Dawn. Well, I just like mixed two books together there. Magical Dawn, and I thought that she would be really pretty to do. So I thought we could do her background today as well, because I kind of want to do them similarly. And what we're going to use for these is we're going to use some oil pastels and some black gesso. So let me kind of get zoomed in, pull some colors, and we'll get started. Alright, so this is in the Magical Dawn, or no, Spirit Animal book. This is Spirit Animal, and she's kind of got like a phoenix up here. I think she's really cute. She's kind of got this powerful witch kind of look going on, you know? I like it. So what I want is a background that we'll start, we're just looking at in the side of the circle, like we'll have yellow, orange, and then red at the bottom. So I have my pastels here that I have pulled. And I'm going to use my fingers mostly to blend, but in those smaller areas I do have a paper stump and a silicone thing. These they use them for like clay molding. I don't even know what you would call it. Silicone, a silicone brush. I don't know. Use them in clay, but they are actually really good for pushing pastels around. Yeah. So, yeah, I love using oil pastels. They are messy, but sometimes I just enjoy the mess, you know? I like it. Okay, so this is, what is it? Carmine, and these are the Mungyo set. I have this set of, what, 48, but I know there's a bigger set. Yeah, 48, and I know there's a bigger set, and I need to just get the bigger set, but I haven't, so this is the set I have. I didn't know there was a bigger set when I bought this one. So we're gonna put the Carmine down here. I love taking my pastels to the park. It's so funny. Like, well, my kids run around and play at the park, which they didn't get to do last summer, but I'm hopeful for this summer. Yeah, and I'll just take a couple of pastels with me, and I'll just sit there and color a background while they play and use my fingers. And I don't know why I find that just so relaxing, but I do. I just think it's great. Okay, I'm gonna kind of lighten up a little bit and just put a little lighter of a layer going into her hair, because we're gonna blend it. So I'm trying not to get it on the picture, but it doesn't matter too much because we'll blend it out to where it's not causing a problem. Plus our fixative adds some tooth back to the paper. So we will be able to color over it with our pencils or whatever we decide to use. So it's not too big a deal. And then I'm gonna paint the outside black. So anything that goes outside this circle doesn't matter at all. All right, so then we have vermilion, and I'm going to go over that lighter application of the carmine that I did. I wanted to be real particular about it. You could like take out your ruler and like draw a line of where you want your colors to transition, you know, but I'm just not that particular, so I probably should be, but I'm not. So we'll kind of eyeball it. If it's higher on one side, I don't really care. Okay. Alright. So I don't know if I talked about this yet, probably not. I found out that my 4th grader, who's supposed to be learning how to play the recorder, and it's, excuse my language, but it's kind of a shit show over there. Like, how are you supposed to learn how to play a recorder with a mask? I don't understand. But anyways, so I've been asking him to practice, and I thought he was. I thought he was doing fine because he usually picks up things really quick, and he's just been really, he's a smart kid, and I don't know, I've been so overwhelmed with his brothers that I kind of dropped the ball on him, and I didn't pay attention the way I should have. And anyways, they started learning the recorder in like December or something, and it's April. And I found out that he like hasn't passed anything off, and he's just not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's not practicing, he's not passing them off, he's not bringing his music home. Like, it's just a mess. Like, he's not doing anything. And I felt like really stupid because like, here's my kid floundering, and I have a master's degree in music education, and I just felt like retarded. And I was like, okay, dude, we gotta figure this out. So I bought myself a recorder. I mean, they're like $12. It's not like it's a big deal. You can find them cheaper, but I wanted something that would not offend my ears. Anyway, so I bought a recorder, and I taught myself how to play the recorder in a couple of days, and now I'm like teaching him to play the recorder, and we practice every morning before school, and he's actually passing his stuff off, and he's starting to get excited about it, and it's just fun to see him be excited about it. And he's so funny though, like, because if he makes a mistake, he like look, or like it squeaks or something, you know, he looks at the recorder like it's broken, and I'm like, dude, 99% of the time it's not the instrument, it's the person holding it, you know. He's like, but it's squeaking, it's broken, it's not doing it. So I like take his recorder and play it, and it's fine, you know. And he's like, ugh. But he's so good, like he's starting to pick it up and like feels good about it. And I just felt so dumb there, like we're gonna catch up and he's gonna be fine, but I was like, man, I just dropped the ball on him. Like, I'm taking care of everybody else and everybody else's issues, and oh, we're not paying attention to the kid who's like drowning in the corner. Found out he has ADHD, which his brothers do, but he's just so much better than his brothers that I just missed it in him. But he like came home with a whole report card of just nonsense, and yeah, found out. I wish the teacher would have said something, called me or emailed me or texted me or done something, you know, before April and said, hey, your kid's struggling. But no, they didn't say anything to me. I wish they would have, because it's April and we're just now figuring it out. So I just feel bad. that he's been struggling this whole year and I didn't notice. Oh well, makes me feel like a bad parent, but I swear I was just so caught up in everybody else's work. Okay, so we did the yellow. I don't think I told you these colors. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of it still. So we have the orange. These are complicated colors. Yellow and white. Yeah, so really complicated colors there. And we've got it all on our page, which is what I like to do. I like to put it all down first, which is probably why I like doing this kind of stuff at the park, because I can have a few colors, scribble it all down, and then put my colors away, and I can just sit there and blend with my finger, and I'm not having to worry about any other tools. So, all right, so I do have like little paper stump that we can get in here in these little areas. And then the silicone one, I think the paper one will do better because it's stiffer. But you can use the silicone one if you don't like the paper one for some reason. Yeah, it works just fine. The silicone ones are easier to clean, you know, and like they'll last you forever. The paper stumps, you have to sand them in order to use a different color with them. And so they will deteriorate and disappear and all of that stuff, so. And really I like using my fingers, so we're just gonna use this like in the places where we can't get our finger. Because the thing with your finger, I know it's like messy and people don't like to be messy or whatever, but the thing with it is that you have natural oils on your finger, you have heat from your finger, and so there's just a lot going for it that makes it just the perfect tool to blend oil pastels. It just blends beautifully. And it's quick, look at that. Like I said, I'm not too worried about anything that gets on there because our fixative will bring us back some tooth, and so I'm not too worried. It's not as easy to erase as a chalk pastel, but it'll be just fine. All right, I'm gonna get a clean finger to go in here. I'm going to try and do the acrylic extensions on my right hand today. We will attempt it. Oh, it's scary. I am right-handed. Barely. I am barely right-handed. But, so I'm hoping it won't be too challenging to do with my left hand. A lot of times if I start doing something with my left hand, yeah, I'll get pretty good at doing with my left hand, and then it feels weird to go back to using my right hand. And I do normal everyday things with my left hand rather than my right hand. Like I tend to eat with my left hand. Things like that, so. My percussion professor was always trying to figure out, he'd give me all these little tests to see if I was right-handed or left-handed, and they always came out like even, or some days I would come out right-handed and some days it would come out left-handed. Drove him crazy. And some things he would teach me to do, like he wanted me to play the cymbals a particular way, and they needed to move in a particular direction. It's not even the way I play cymbals anymore, because when I got to went to school for my master's, they taught me a different way to play the cymbal. I know you wouldn't think playing the cymbals was so complicated, but they taught me another way to play the cymbals, which I prefer. So anyways, but my first professor he was teaching me to play the cymbals, and he showed me and showed me. I'm like, perfect. So I take the cymbals and I do it, and it's perfect and they sound beautiful, except I did it completely opposite. Like I mirrored him perfectly. So it was left hand, and he wanted everybody to do it the same direction because it was like a marching band thing. I don't know. He wanted everyone to do it the same direction. And I had to go in the corner, and it took me a good like half an hour to get my like mind to register doing it right-handed rather than left-handed, because I did it perfectly left-handed. Anyways, my husband is so right-handed that if you tied his left hand or his right hand behind his back, he wouldn't be able to do anything. He'd starve to death. He wouldn't he just wouldn't be able to do anything if you tied that right hand behind his back. So and our one son, Carson, every time we go to his IEP, like the occupational therapist will be like last time she looked at our notes and she was like, he's so left-handed. He's doing everything left-handed. He is definitely left-handed. And then she looks at her notes and they say he's doing everything from like the last IEP. It says he's been doing everything right-handed. He's obviously, so it just keeps switching too. Like he can't decide either, so. Okay, I'm just trying to smooth that out a little bit. It doesn't matter that we're going outside the circle because we're gonna paint out there. So it's just fine. But I just wanted to get some of these kind of blended out because there's like a few like kind of chunky pieces. So I'm just gonna kind of blend them to the outside since we're going to paint over that. Okay, I like that. I have some baby wipes here that I just still have. Bought baby wipes in bulk a long time ago. Anyways, so I use them in my craft room now. I think once they're gone, I'll probably just use rags that like go wet a washcloth, but since I have them, I will use them. Okay, all right. So, like I said, with all this stuff we got on, I don't think it's going to erase it very well. We can try. But I think we'll just be able to go over it with pencils or markers. Let's see, I cleaned, so of course I don't know where anything is. That's what happens when oh, there it is. Happens when I clean. My son makes fun of me for it. Okay, so we have our kneaded eraser. Sometimes do you guys ever just sit here and play with it and like zone out? It's like the artist fidget toy, you know? Okay. So we'll just, it doesn't pick up as well as chalk pastel, but we can pick up a little bit. Okay, that's gonna be as good as in, who cares? I'm just not willing to sit here too long and erase. Okay, so it is what it is. I'm gonna go spray this one and then we'll work on the other one while this one dries. Okay, I sprayed her. This is what the can looks like. This is Grumbacher's Final Fixative. I know there's workable fixatives and stuff. I just like this one better and I can color over it just fine. So this is what I use. Yeah, so once it's sprayed, it's not gonna go anywhere, but we're gonna let it kind of sit and dry for a minute and then we'll paint what we want to paint. In the meantime, maybe I should change my mind a little bit. I was thinking of doing like these purple flowers and then having a yellow background, but we just kind of did a yellow and red background, so maybe we should do it different. Let's see. This is what all the colors look like, and then we have all our reds and yellows. Okay, let's see. Let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? We'll have to switch from purple and do blue flowers instead, like there are red flowers, pink flowers. That might be pretty. Okay. So we have lime green, and I don't want the same like gradient, so I'm just gonna be a little more random about this. If it's a tight space and you can't get your pastel in there, take your, take a clean off paper stump and you can rub it on your pastel and then lay it down in there that way. So yeah, if you can't get in there, don't sharpen them because you'll just clog your sharpener up. Chalk pastels, you can sharpen them, go for it. But these, just clog your sharpener up, so just use a paper stump if you can't get in there. Alright, I'm just being sporadic about it, not too concerned about where I'm sticking this. And then we'll take the turquoise green. I love this color. It's probably one of my favorite colors. And look, it's the first one I have to peel back the paper, so we know I love it. Okay, so we'll take such a pretty color. I love it so much. Might have to put some more lime green in there because this color is so intense. Put some over it so we kind of get a nice blend, kind of smush them all together a little bit in there. Maybe on these spots that aren't too connected. Okay, that's pretty. Looks a little tie-dye at the moment, but let's see if we can blend it together. Oh goodness. Okay. My fingers are clean because we were using that red. I don't want to mix red in here because red and green are opposites on the color wheel, and then we will have gray or brown or just what they call mud. It won't look good. So, no red. Here we go. Try my best to keep it off of her skin as much as possible. Failing miserably on it. I love it. Look how easy a background is and so much fun. And so I just, on those days I just don't feel like doing a ton, or I don't have the brain capacity to do a ton. Backgrounds can be so fun, it's so relaxing and so rewarding with such little effort. Alright, I will go spray this one and then we'll paint in some black backgrounds. Alright, now that I'm going to be working near the edge of the paper, I'm going to put in a piece of paper. This is a 12 by 12. I like using it because it just fits and it covers and it overlaps. I don't have to move the paper around. And I have tons of 12 by 12 paper because if it goes on sale and it's pretty, I have a tendency of buying it, whether I need it or not. So I've got lots. Alright, my husband makes fun of me for it. Every time I go shopping with his mom, I come home with more paper. It's a sickness I have. All right, and then I have some black gesso. My other black gesso I used up. I was using the Liquitex. I think their professional one. I don't like their basic gesso. It's so chalky. I hate it. I don't even know if they make black in that. But I couldn't find that, so I bought the golden, which is probably more money, but Golden is a wonderful brand. You can probably find off brands cheaper, or I'm sure, you know, craft brands have stuff. Though you should check, because a lot of times craft brands are more expensive than professional artist brands. And they're not as good quality. So you should check if you're looking for something that is made in both worlds, professional artists and craft artists. You should look in both sections of your art store and see if it's cheaper in one section or the other. Okay, so I'm going to start with the small areas and then I'll do the big areas. Yeah, so just dip it in there and go. I probably won't show all of this because it's going to be tedious and keeping my hair that I have not done anything with today out of the picture. You can use your Posca paint pens. You can do the same thing if you don't want to use a brush and you want to do that instead. You know I love my Posca paint pens. And painting stuff like this is good practice. You learn to have some pretty good control of your brush. And it's a coloring book, so it's... I mean, they're Hanna Karlzon coloring books, so they might be precious, but... you know, overall, our coloring books are not overtly precious that we can't experiment and make mistakes in. And practice our techniques that we might want to use in other art forms. Alright, now I've got all the teeny tiny stuff done, so I'm going to take a little bigger of a brush here to finish this page up because I don't want to sit here forever with that teeny tiny brush. So take a bigger one and it's gonna go by so quick. Look at that. Yes, thank you. Bigger brush. Okay, go rinse your brush immediately, and we gotta do the other page too. Here they are. I love how black that gesso is. That's one coat and it's just so beautiful. I love it. I think we're gonna do 428. This is one of those Jelly Roll Moonlights that I bought. I'm gonna have to get some more Jelly Roll colors because I'm in love. I just thought it would be cute on these circles that are on the peripheral of her. It would kind of give it that, I don't know, edge or whatever, finishing touch on the background. So, but I love it. I love how easy these kind of backgrounds are. I know backgrounds can be daunting sometimes, but you don't always have to put in a background. You know, don't have to. Nope. But if you want to, oil pastels are really fun. And if you don't want to do the entire background, you could draw your own circle on a page, you know? So, yeah, but just hurry up and finish these little dots. But I hope you have an awesome weekend. That you find time to relax, chill for a minute, take a deep breath, throw some color around. I know I'm going to. Today's what, Wednesday for me. I don't even know when this video is going up. Probably a Monday, but yeah, it's Wednesday, and there they are. So pretty, so easy. I love them. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I will see you guys next time when we color one of these and then the other. So we're ready to go. Bye.